Hi Paula, hi Real Women of Philadelphia. I'm Debbie Reed and I'm here today to show you another delicious recipe using Philadelphia brand cream cheese. Today's recipe is going to be a white pizza. I think you're really going to love it. It's got a lot of different flavors to it. Goes together, of course, really easy. First thing I'm going to show you, I'm going to step down here and show you our pizza crust. All this is a store-bought pizza crust in the refrigerated section of your grocery store in the little tube. I have spread it out. I'm actually going to fix it up here a little bit. It kind of moved a little bit on me while I was prepping everything. I actually put some olive oil down on the baking sheet to give it a nice taste on the bottom. Put the crust down, or the dough down, and spread it out into a 15 by 10 inch rectangle. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to pre-bake it before I put all the toppings on. So I'm going to give it a couple hits with the fork here so it doesn't bubble up too bad. I'm going to take a little bit of olive oil and drizzle maybe about 2 tablespoons on it. And take a little pastry brush and just brush that all over the crust. Okay. Then what we're going to actually end up doing to give the crust a little bit more flavor before, of course, all the delicious toppings go on, I'm going to put a little bit of some freshly grated Parmesan cheese on it and let that bake a little bit. So there we go. And we can add the Parmesan. And that's just going to give it a whole another layer of flavor, as well as get a little nice and brown and crunchy on the end. So I'll give that the end pieces that sometimes don't have a lot of the toppings on it, give that a little bit of some love. Okay. So there we go. So just a little bit. I have half a cup here. So nothing, not too much, just want to give it a little bit of something extra there. Okay, so there we go. So that's ready. I've preheated the oven to 425 degrees. And I'm going to put that in and bake that off for 5 to 7 minutes. Set a timer here. Got 5. Okay, hopefully my bangs do not go. Every time I open the oven, my bangs fly up and just stay up. So hopefully they're behaving themselves. Okay, next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to get a little bit of oil going in a pan here. Give that a chance to heat up a little bit. I'll explain the meat layer in just a second, but I'll go ahead and give you a little bit more of what's going to go on the top. I have, oops. It would help if I put the right burner on. Hello. Okay, onward we go. Have my 8 ounces of Philadelphia cream cheese right here, softened. I have a tablespoon of an Italian seasoning blend. I'm going to toss that in there and mix that up. And what this is going to be is instead of our tomato sauce, this is going to be our white portion of the pizza. So when the crust comes out, I'm going to let it cool for just a few minutes, just take that first bit of heat off of it. I want to be able to put the cream cheese on and not have it just start melting all over it. So we're going to just stir all that together, and that will be going on the crust as soon as it comes out. So there we go. So that's going to be our first addition that goes on. Our next addition, which I'll throw on as soon as it heats up here, I'll have 8 ounces of Italian sausage. I'm using mild. You can use, if you want to use hot, feel free to use hot. I did take them out of the casing. My grocery store didn't have the bulk, so I bought the ones in the casing. I cut the casing, broke it apart. Have 3/4 cup of some chopped onion and half a cup of green bell pepper cut up, ready to go. I'll be tossing that in and giving it a minute just start, and then I'm going to toss in 2 cloves of garlic that have been minced. So give that another minute since I turned the wrong one on. Then once that goes on, these are going to be our other toppings. We have half a pint of grape tomatoes that I have halved. We have some bocconcini. Now all that is fresh mozzarella, but it's smaller. It's supposed to be like a mouthful. Mine a little bigger than some of them I've seen, but they're still, it's not the full 8 ounce. This is 7 ounces. It comes in a container packed in some water. So what I've done, I wanted to show you the size of it. I cut it in half and then I quartered it. So it's still a decent sized piece. There's going to be spread all over the pizza. They will melt. It'll just be a big, gooey, nice piece of cheese when you're eating your pizza. If for some reason you can't find the little guys, go ahead and just buy a full size. Make sure it's the fresh mozzarella, and then just cube it into some good sizes. That's probably about 1 inch or so. Then we're going to toss on at the very top. This is some prosciutto. It's kind of like an Italian. I would call it more of along the lines of a ham. It's usually sliced very, very thinly, and what I did is I cut it into strips, and I'm going to sprinkle it all across the top, and hopefully it will, as my oil now burns, it will hopefully go ahead and get a nice crispness going for you on the top of that. So let's get before I burn my oil to death here, let's go ahead and get our sausage in. Onion and our green pepper. Okay. So turn that to about medium. Get that going. That's a good sizzle. Try a little bit more of a sizzle than you want. I got busy talking. What I'm going to do, I'll go ahead and stir it up. Want to make sure you really break up the sausage as you cook it. You want nice little bite-sized pieces. So I'll go ahead and continue on with that. I've explained everything else. I'll come back, put everything together for you when the sausage is cooked through and the pizza crust is done. When it's cooked through, I will go ahead and drain it, get rid of all that extra fat. You throw the pizza together, throw it in the oven, and then actually when it comes out, we're going to have one more thing I'm going to put on top of it, but I'll wait and tell you about that when the pizza comes out. Hi, I'm back with my cooked, or partially cooked, pre-cooked pizza crust. So I'm going to go ahead now and put our cream cheese mixture on here. So I'm going to just plop it all over here and then spread it out. I'm just going to use a little offset spatula here to get it going. Oops, and it's still a little hot. I did give it a chance the pizza crust to cool a little bit so I could spread the cream cheese around, because I didn't want it just to instantly start to melt on me. But the pan's still a little hot, so. Take it to about 1/4 inch or so of the end. I want to make sure I get a nice layer of it all over, but I also don't want to ignore the ends. The crust is good, but it's always good to have a little bit of some extra flavor on that. You don't want it all naked down there. Okay, there we go. All right, that's all spread. Now, the Italian sausage, green pepper, and onion. There we go. All that spread out all over. There we go. And our next are the the grape tomatoes. Get nice and, I don't want to say roasted because they won't be in there probably long enough to roast, but they're going to start to get nice and sweet and hopefully start bursting a little bit on there. And then our mozzarella, our cubed up bocconcini. Ooh, actually, I'm sitting on it, but a little bit more water came out, so just be careful. You don't want to, if you do cut it and it's sitting in a little bit of water, you don't want to get the water on your pizza. Fill in. Everybody gets big pieces of it. Let's see, right there looks good. Okay. And then our last ingredient before it goes into the oven is our prosciutto. And it's going to crisp a little bit in the oven. So we'll get a nice little crunch going there. And there we go. That's our little white pizza. Now I still have the oven set at 425. So I'm going to toss this baby back in there and going to put it in for about 10-12 minutes. Want to make sure the crust gets cooked through, as well as the cheese, the mozzarella to start melting and getting nice and ooey and gooey, as well as our prosciutto to start to crisp up a little. So I'll go ahead and toss that back in the oven, give it about, like I said, 10-12 minutes, and then I'll bring it out and cut a slice and show you our finished product with one last little ingredient on it right after we cut it. So I'll see you back here in a few. Hi, our pizza's fresh, hot, delicious out of the oven, and I want to go ahead and give you, that's not too hot, give you a show. Doesn't that look good? I went ahead, I did cut half of it, so you didn't have to see me stand here with a knife and hopefully not cut my fingers while I was doing it. We're all set, ready to serve. Last thing, I have some torn fresh basil here. So I'm just going to take that, and on the pieces already cut, I'm going to just toss a little bit on there. This is going to be delicious. It's going to, when it hits the heat of the pizza, you can start to smell it. Love fresh basil. So there we go. That is our finished pizza. So let me steal a slice here. There we go. And give it a big taste. Now, I'm going to use a knife and fork, so hopefully I don't offend any pizza lovers out there. But I don't want to, I'm sure it's really hot. I don't want to burn my mouth, so we're going to do it this way. That was one yummy pizza. You can taste that cream cheese with the herbs in it. The Italian seasoning blend I put in there. Got to the Italian sausage. The prosciutto is really good. When I had a big piece, you can see how the bocconcini melted into big globs. It's delicious. Give this pizza a try. You're going to love it. Thank you.